Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Anne. This is actually our very first tutorial that I'm posting on my YouTube channel. So today what we're going to be making is this cute little earrings right here. They are the dream catcher earrings. I'll show you up close. Very neat design. It is super lightweight. This one I have it oxidized. Make this pair of earrings. Stay tuned. Okay, so as far as supplies, what we're going to be needing, we're going to be using 20 gauge round wires. These are dead soft copper, and I do get my copper from Rio Grande. I will list all the supplies that we have below, and I will try my very best to put the links on where I got them from, but I usually get all of my wires from Rio Grande. So this is a 20 gauge dead soft round wire, 7 to 8 inches, and you're going to need 2 of them per earring. So for the whole pair, you're going to need 4 of the 7 to 8 inch 20 gauge wire. Okay, we will also need 28 gauge weaving wire. So we're going to need 18 inches. I usually, when I do my weaving, you guys, I usually leave them on this bobbin right here because it's super easy. But for this particular project we're going to make, because we're going to be weaving through you see this, so we're going to be weaving through our base, round base right here. So we'll be going to need to cut it. So we're going to need 18 inches, 2 of them. So just measure it. I really need an idea to you guys. You see my tape measure? I have it taped on my table. Isn't that neat? But if you don't want to do that on your table, you can also just get just a regular tape measure. But it's up to you. Okay, so we're gonna need 2 of the 18 inches of the 28 gauge weaving wire. We're using copper today. And we're going to need 2 beads. These are really pretty. They're like the oil spill ones. So I believe, make sure I give you the right size. You can go bigger if you like, or you can even go smaller. You can use any color bead you like. This one is about a 3.5 millimeter. So we're going to need 2 of those. And we're also going to need a pair of fish hooks. I do make my own fish hook for my earrings. I will have a separate tutorial for this one. This is super easy, you guys. But keep an eye out for the tutorial. We're going to do that before the end of this week, and I will post it on this channel. So we're going to need 2 of those. We're also going to need 20 gauge of your 20 gauge round wire. We're going to need 7 of 1 inch 20 gauge wire. So you're going to need 14 for the pair. I'm going to put that aside. That one is for your little dangly down here. I don't know what it's called. Okay, as far as tools, for the tools, we're going to this is your basic tools that you need. I do have a couple of flush cutters right here. I use this blue one for the thicker wire, and this one for my thin wire. thinner wires. Flush cutters. I also have my nylon pliers. I use this. I usually straighten out my my wires before I cut them from the spool. And my tweezer nose pliers. I don't do any projects without this because this is like a lifesaver for me. Tweezer nose pliers, and I also have the mandrel pliers. If you don't have the mandrel pliers, you guys can use your round nose pliers as well. Okay, but we're probably gonna need both of these. And tape measure, I told you about it. And I also have my bench block and my hammer. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 8-inch, two of our 8-inch 20 gauge wires. Going to put them next to each other. And we're going to create a cross, or an X, not a cross, an X. Holding them right in the center. And then we're going to do a twist. There is a gadget that you guys can do, twist 2 round wires together, or the ones that we use for the square wires as well. That one's not going to work for this one, because what's going to happen is going to pinch the ends of the wire. So we're going to do this, and if you guys, it doesn't really bother me if it's not even, the twists are not even. That's what makes it really neat looking and unique. But if that bothers you, you guys can hold one end with a nose plier, and we're going to take our nylon pliers. If you want to add a little more of the a little more of the twist on some of the areas, so you can do that as well. So we're going to do the twist in the center until you get a 3-inch length. Almost. A little more. Okay. Once you get the 3-inch, I'm going to straighten out both ends of the wire. Oops. And I forgot to tell you guys, we're also going to need a bigger mandrel. This one is from Bead Smith. I believe I got this one from Amazon. So we're going to use the third one from the bottom. You can make a bigger one if you like, or you can make it as small as you like. So we're going to form our circle. You see I'm pushing it at the bottom and kind of guiding the curve on the side. And then we're going to grab both ends and pull. Okay, so we're going to hold it right here. We're going to hold that shape, and we're going to take our finger, just bend this part. Do you guys see that? Bending one part or one end straight up. Okay, and then on this, for these 2 wires that are at the bottom facing to your left, kind of choose the one that is underneath. You see how it's crossed like this? You're going to choose the one that's underneath. And then guiding it on both sides, we're going to twist that around the 2 wires that are pointing up. guys see that? And we can use our nose, tweezer nose pliers to kind of like squeeze that a little bit just to secure it. Okay, so we're done with the mandrel. This is what it looks like right now. Okay, so we're going to continue to put this wire that we secure around one more turn. I'd say halfway, so it's right next to the other one. Okay, and then the other one is going to go around as well, so it's facing the opposite. Kind of squeezing that with your nose pliers. Okay, so we don't need this two at the top. It's up to you. You can use this two if you want to make if you want to do some weaving to make your a bigger bale, but all we need is one. So we're gonna take one, kind of bend it down, and we're going to cut it. Your extras, you guys, don't toss this out. You can use this to make jump rings, and you can also use it to make fish hook wires for your earrings and for the bottom of your dream catchers. Okay, so now we have that one sticking out right there. We're going to straighten it out together with that one at the top, and this two, we're going to turn it halfway one more time. Okay, so we're gonna do this one first, and we're gonna do this one. Okay, so now it's time for you to kind of choose which is going to be the front. It doesn't really matter, because if you can see the earrings, whoops, if you can see this earrings, you can wear it this facing this way, or you can wear it facing the other way. Okay. Okay, so we're going to cut. We're going to trim those two. I'm going to squeeze those in to secure it. Okay. Okay, now for the bail, this part, I'm going to take your pliers and we're going to bend it to one side. Okay, for this one, you can either use your round nose pliers or your mandrel pliers. So for this one, I believe we're going to use, oh, I'm not sure, the second or maybe the third one even. Let's go do the second. So we're going to place it right here, just a little up higher, maybe about, oh gosh, I don't know, about 2.3 millimeters. Okay, we're going to push this around, all the way around. Okay. We form the loop. And then you can take your those pliers to guide it, and we're going to turn this around maybe a couple times. Squeezing it. Then we're going to cut. And secure. Okay. So put our tools away. Whoops. And then we're going to take our 18 inches weaving wire. I'm going to straighten that out a little bit with our fingers. And we're going to start, you guys can start anywhere around your the circle base. But I usually like to start on this side. So take your weaving wire. We're going to wrap it 3 times. Okay. We're going to put this end through. And then we're going to make a loop from here to over here. It's up to you how big you want the loops. For this earrings, we're going to make it really small because the earrings is tiny. So your weaving wire is on the back. And then we're going to do 3 more loops. Putting your weaving wire through. Three times. Try to put them through really carefully so you don't get any knot or tangle on your wire, because they can break. So we made 3 rotation, and now we're still behind a round base. Okay, so we're going to make another loop. Rotation 3 more times around and through. Okay, so we're on our 3rd loop. Like I said, don't worry if it's straight or it's bent or whatever, because that's going to get pulled down later. We're going to do 3 rotations around again. Keep doing that around on the base. Okay, you guys hear my son, he's playing video games. Because it's Friday night here. Okay, 3 more rotations. Okay, now we're towards the end. We're going to go ahead and trim this. We're at the beginning where we started. Okay, so now we're not going to do the loop from here to here, okay, because as you can see, it's gonna end up us having a tiny one right here, and it's gonna look all funky. There's no such thing as a perfect dream catcher anyways. So what we're going to do, to go from here on through the top on our first loop. Okay, so we're going to pull that. We're going to start at the top now. This is going to be different. We're not going to do 3 rotations, but we're going to do, I don't know if you guys can see those little loops. You see that? Okay, so from the top, we're going to take the end of our weaving wire. We're going to go through the top. This is when we have to be really careful so you don't get any knots. And then once we go through that, we're going to go back and pull it through the back of our new loop. Okay. You guys will see what I meant by it's getting pulled. So now what I'm doing is I'm pushing this, holding it right here while I work on that loop on the left corner. It's going to get easier and it's going to look a little better once we get through this first, or the second loop. Oops. That's a little too tight up there. Okay. Okay, do you guys see that? Okay, now we're going to go through to the top of the next loop. Up through the back of our new loop. I'm putting my finger in between, right in the middle of my weaving wire. So I form a circle so it doesn't get all tangled. Okay, so now we're from the tiny loop again. We're going to pull down a little bit. Don't pull down too hard because you can break your weaving wire. So the third one, up through the top. And up through the back on the third loop or new loop. Okay, we're going to continue doing that. Through the top again. Forming that loop, pulling down a bit so you can tighten it. To the top of the next one, up through the new loop. It's like sewing. Okay, so now we're at the end. You see that? We're going to put a loop right here. We're going to do the same thing. Sorry if my hand is blocking the whole thing because I need to guide that wire. Then we're going to pull. So we're going to continue from here to here. we're going to go from here to here, forming more loops around until it gets smaller. Up through. Sorry if I'm getting off camera here. Don't worry about if it's loose or if it's not centered or whatever. We're gonna fix that later. It's all gonna come together at the end. I also use this design to make a pendant. You guys can make the same thing, just make it a little bigger for your pendant, or you can make it smaller if you like, or same size. That's totally up to you. The one I just showed you was a pendant. I'm working on this one right now, and it has, I put the rose at the top. So this is the pendant, and I put a little bigger bead at the center. So I'm going to continue on. If your first project doesn't come out right or to your liking, just keep practicing, you guys. Sometimes we get lucky. Sometimes when I try a new project, my very first one, sometimes it's really, really good. But that doesn't happen very often. Just gotta be patient and practice. I also like to draw my design on a piece of paper. Sometimes I have to start over, and that's okay. It's a little tricky towards the middle here. And like I said, you guys can play around with different beads, different color beads or stones. Okay, so we're getting to the center right here. Don't worry about the kinks and stuff. We're going to fix that at the end. Okay, I think we're going to do one more. Okay, now we're at the center. We're going to take our bead, put that through our weaving wire. Put that kind of like in the center. So now we're just going to weave through. I'm going to put it right up here. Be careful not to break your wire. Okay, so we're going to turn this around onto the other side. From right here, you see we're underneath this wire right here. We're going to go through the hole of the bead again one more time to secure it. Pulling it tight and slow. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're just going to loop this around. This wire right here, or we can do this wire right here. Just gonna open that a little bit. So we're going to loop it through this wire right here 3 times to secure it. This one. And 3. Okay, so we're going to cut that wire. Pinch it. Okay, so we're going to work on that center later. So next, I'll put that aside. We're going to need bench block and our hammers. So we do have 7. We're going to need 7 1-inch each of the 20 gauge. Okay. Take a round nose plier. So we're going to make a loop. Just make sure that your loop is big enough to go through this bottom right here, it needs to fit down below and have some movement. You don't want it too tight. Okay, so we're going to make a loop. Let's start that loop. Okay, we're going to put our round nose pliers on this side, and we're going to straighten that. So we're turning our P, looks like a P. We're putting the loop of the P up, if that makes sense. Let's go do one more, or actually needs 7 of them. It's kind of hard to show you guys. Okay. Straighten it. We're going to do that 7 times. I'm going to show it to you the opposite way. You can also do it this way. So now, you guys, we're going to hammer this flat, just the bottom part, not the hook part. But you can also use square wires if you have those. So we're going to hammer just this part. Okay. I usually do 2 at a time, as long as you guys don't hit your fingers. It's gonna be loud, I'm so sorry. Just make sure it is really flat. Okay. We're going to do all 7. Actually, we're going to do all 14. So I'm going to do all of this, and then I will be back. Okay, so we've flattened all of our 1-inch pieces. They are all right here. They look like. So like I said earlier, if you guys have the square wire, you don't need to hammer. The reason why we're hammering the round wires is that so we can twist it. If you can see right here, they're all twisted. So when you have round wire, because you cannot twist your round wires, it's not going to work. You have to have square wire. If you have a square wire, then you can do the twist. You can just do your loop and your twist if you like. But since we're using the round wire, so we hammered this, we're going to hold it with our plier on this loop. You can either take, I have a flat nose right here with, I dipped it so I don't, it has that rubber thing at the tip, so I don't nick or ruin my wires. You can either use this, and we're going to twist, starting from the top. Or you can also use your nylon pliers. Put a little more at the bottom right here. There we go. Okay. So we're going to do all of this. So I'm going to finish all of this and I'll be back. So now everything is done. We're going to place them at the bottom. Okay, this one I've already done this one. Here's another trick that I want to show you guys as well. What I usually do with this is I usually put the fish hook and I hang it. So I'll make sure that it's all centered. But that's up to you. It's all up to you. You don't have to. Okay, so we're going to attach each one of these at the bottom. Okay. See, there's a movement because we put enough space on our hoops or loops. What do you call those? Do you call those loops? Hoops, loops. If you guys have any questions or any other ideas or any designs that you guys would like to see, shoot me a message, let me know. We're also going to be doing giveaways when we reach 100 subscribers by the end of this month. I'll tell you more about the details on that. I think we need one right, oops, here. And we're going to trim this. The reason why I cut an inch, all of them an inch, because I didn't want to measure and trim and then have it all uneven. Okay, you can use your pliers, your long nose pliers to kind of straighten those out if they're a little crooked. Okay, one more right here at the end. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our fish hook. That one I already oxidized it, but okay, so now before we trim the bottom, we're almost done. We're going to fix the center. Kind of arrange that. We're going to put our pliers and just twist. Not too hard, you don't want to break your weaving wire. Put it on this and twist. We're not really twisting, we're just putting a little curve to it, kind of tightening those wires in there. Remember I told you guys earlier, don't worry about if they are loose, because we can fix that by doing this. Okay, push your bead a little bit on the center. Then we're going to do the same one on the other one. This one I've already made it, so you just need to do the same thing we did on the first one to make the other pair, or the other piece for the pair. Oops. Sorry if my camera's moving too much. Keep hitting it. Okay, so there's that. Now we're going to trim the bottom part. What I did is I have the center longer, okay, and trimmed on each side to form like a V shape. Okay, oops. Okay, lost our fish hook. And we'll do the other one as well. So this one I just kind of match it with the other earrings. Find that center. Okay, so I will definitely oxidize it. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's up to you. So there's our Dreamcatcher earrings. I'm going to show you guys the pendant that I'm working on. I'm going to be putting a tutorial for the pendant as well. This one is just a little bigger, and as you can see, I put a different bail on this one, and the bigger bead as well. So thank you so much for watching. Please follow, don't forget to follow and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any other ideas, please let me know. You can also follow me on Facebook as well. I do have a new Etsy shop. Bear with me, I am trying to put some pieces in there. It's just a matter of, you know, having the time to do it because I have kiddos. But anyways, thank you. I love you guys. And I will see you soon.